Hello, everyone. Good morning and a very happy Saturday to all of you, and welcome to Genius Kids on Air. This is Miss Renu, and again, as you know, we're here every Saturday on Desi 11:70 a.m., and our show is here from 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning. So let's not waste time. Let's begin the show. And I'm very excited this morning because for the first 10 minutes, I'm actually going to be speaking to a superstar. And I know when I meet him, I need to get his autograph because who knows, in the next 5 years, he may not have time to recognize Miss Renu. So I happened to be reading on Facebook the other day, and we are going to be meeting little Sai. Let me tell you about him. Sai Charan is a fifth grader at Evergreen Elementary School and was born in 2004. He wanted to play tennis when he was only 5 years old, and he didn't even know what tennis was, so he used to cry and hit the fence. Now today, Sai is a superstar right here in the Bay Area. He played his first tournament in Lafayette at the age of 10, and he also won his first tournament. Since April 2014 to December, Sai has played 9 individual tournaments and won 7 of them. And he's, of course, the son of Nathan Notary, and we're going to be meeting and speaking to both Sai and his dad. So good morning, Sai. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. And good morning, Daddy. Is that Nathan? Is your daddy online too, or is it just you, Sai?
It's just me.
Okay, good. Well, that's great. All right. Are you ready to share with us your success story?
Sure.
All right. So tell me, Sai, when did you first play tennis? I know your dad has mentioned to me that you started when you were 5, but when is it that you first realized you wanted to pick up that tennis racket?
Well, as my dad told, when I was 5, I was too young to play tennis, so I kept hitting the fence. But I started joining NorCal when I was 6.
Okay, and why did you want to, what made you think about tennis? I mean, you were so little at 5 years old. Who knows what a tennis racket is? How did you know what a tennis racket was?
I just liked how you swing the tennis racket, like how the tennis racket looks.
Oh, excellent. And then let me ask you, when did you actually figure out, you know what, or who figured out that, you know, this little boy really has something in him? He's got that spunk in him to play this game. When did you figure that out?
Well, at age 7, I really wanted to learn tennis, and I started liking the game.
So did you take any special lessons with anyone, or did you have a special coach?
Yeah, I have academy called NorCal Tennis Academy.
Okay, and who's your coach there?
We have 4 coaches: Coach Tom, Coach Qua, Coach Kelvin, and Coach Hakeem.
That's wonderful. Let me ask you, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, anyone else in the family that plays as well as you do?
My brother plays tennis, but I don't think he's as good as me.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. I love your confidence. But I'm going to come to a very important question because many families out there think, you know what, you have to study, and how can I have my child play sports because they have to just keep getting these straight A's at school. How did you manage to balance your school and tennis? I mean, are you as good in school as you are in tennis?
Yes. Actually, tennis is not my hobby. It's like an everyday sports activity that I do. And then my tennis practices are in the evenings and weekends. And if I have a test the next day, I study before and after the practice. So tennis doesn't impact my studies.
Okay, so you now let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where mom and dad have said, you know what, Sai, you are not focusing on your studies, so I'm going to stop your tennis? No? All right. Wow, you must really be a superstar. What are your dreams in tennis? What do you aspire to be?
Oh, I have several dreams in tennis. My first dream is to get in the high school tennis team. And then my second dream is to go to Stanford College and play for the tennis team on that. My coach, Tom, gave me a Stanford cap. And when I get into the team, I'll give it back and trade it with him.
Oh, wonderful. So he's actually given you a cap to motivate you.
Yeah. And my major dream is to be a professional tennis player like Roger Federer and win all the Grand Slams, mainly Wimbledon.
Wonderful. Let me ask you, I believe you've been sponsored as well by a company, right? Your picture's on, there's a company, is it Dunlop? Someone that sponsored you already?
Dunlop.
Okay, so what have you done for them?
Well, I haven't done anything, but every time I play tournaments, they put it on Facebook, and then Dunlop saw my pictures and they asked to sponsor me.
That's wonderful. Now let me ask you, is your dad around with you too, right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to finish speaking with you and I'm going to talk to your dad. So let me ask you, before we wrap up, little Sai, I want to ask you, if you had to give a message to all the children out there, or all the parents out there listening about pursuing a dream like sports, what would you say to them?
So if your kids have interest in tennis, practice, practice, practice makes perfect. And if your kids really have interest in tennis, never give up and you will win.
That's wonderful. You've given, actually, to me, you know what? You've given one of the best advices. I don't think I could have put it better. So I'm so proud of you, and I hope one day, I hope I can come and get your autograph today, and you won't forget this interview when you become that superstar and everybody knows you worldwide.
I promise I won't.
Okay, let me speak to your dad. It's been so wonderful chatting with you.
Thank you, Ms. Dillon, for taking the time to talk to me. Have a good weekend.
Thank you so much. We have some wonderful manners here, too. I'm so thrilled to speak to you. Thank you so much. And do we have Dad Nathan on the line?
Yes.
Okay, let's have your dad.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Very well. Good morning, Nathan. How are you?
Doing very good, Renati.
Well, I want to commend you, first of all, on not only raising a superstar over here, but a very, very well-spoken young boy who has amazing etiquette. I'm truly impressed.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let me ask you, the reason why I brought you on the show is, of course, I've been following your posts about your little son. But the reason I brought you on is a lot of Indian families, we still don't realize the importance of sports, and we don't realize the importance of competitive sports. And we tend to focus on so many other things. I see parents focusing on so many other activities, mainly academics, and not realizing that sports is so critical for a child. I want you to educate the parent. How come you're different?
Today in the competitive world, academics alone doesn't stand good if a kid has to really go to a good college or even otherwise to shine. Just academics alone cannot get them. Definitely they need an additional extracurricular activities. And me being a young cricket player, but I couldn't go a long way. I used to think when I was small that I really want to bring up my son in sports. Whatever sports, I never thought about tennis. I never played tennis. So that's where my elder one also plays and the younger one, and this guy is totally different. So I really wanted to encourage him and, bring him along. Of course, studies are important, but at the same time, today, if you ask me if he really, shines well, and if I have to bet on sports versus studies, I would go with him on sports.
Absolutely. My brother has done very similar things with his two boys, and I do know that. His two boys play soccer, and I do know that even when you go to college and you're sponsored by colleges, they expect you to maintain a GPA in order to stay on the sports team. So that's wonderful.
Right.
And so let me ask you another thing. What are your dreams for Sai?
My dream, definitely, I want him to be, the way if he, God willing, and if he's healthy, and if he continues to play, the way he's playing, I'm going to stand by him in whatever way he wants to, get to in tennis professional career. I'm going to support him in all extent possible, and really want him to see playing, representing United States. Not seen an Asian kid doing it, an Indian kid doing it, and that's what most of my friends talk about. His coach has a dream, him playing in Wimbledon, and definitely my dream is also him playing, representing United States.
That's wonderful, and I will tell you definitely that Genius Kids and all the listeners today are probably truly impressed, and I hope you've inspired even one or two parents out there to encourage their children to get into the sports and have a good balance between academics and all the other things in life. So thank you so much for being on our show, and the very best of luck to you.
Thank you very much, Renati. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. And yes, listeners, that was Mr. Nathan with his little boy, Sai, and upcoming tennis star, and hoping to represent the United